Love Island episode 13 starts with Anaya telling Trinity that she's not sure what's going on with KC and how they they can't get this figured out, and she can figure out how things flipped where sh- she was being sympathetic or whatever. But here's my thing: everything I've been hearing, people are like, what is wrong with Anaya? She is tweaking out, she's freaking out, like there's no reason to. But I get it, bear with me, I get where Anaya's coming from, because she was just now hearing that KC wanted to pursue Soul, but he decided not to. And I get her feeling like she's like a second option. Like, I get it. I mean, I know it's Love Island and you're supposed to explore, but I get why she feels like she's a second option. I don't think she's tripping, really. um but I guess everybody else does. So at the same time, KC is telling these two goofballs about what's going on, and they're giving him bad advice. I don't even know why he's asking. And he was saying that she wants him to be serious all the time. And that's not what she said, Casey. She said she wanted 5 minutes of you being serious. So I don't know what you're talking about, unless we missed something, but I don't think we did. They could have kept their 2 cents, because Zach's doing his usual, telling us, telling him maybe he needs to get to know someone else or whatever. I don't know. I'm just sick of Zach and his advice. And Zach was also probably regretting what went on in the hideaway. Bryce looks a little happy about that. Melanie was talking to Kata in the dressing rooms, and she was like, Kata was asking her what she was going to do, and she said she had a good talk with Sincere, and basically the ball is in his court because of all the lies. That's the exact reason why the ball would not be in his court, because of all the lies. But okay. She also told Kata about the talk she had with Sincere about them still getting to know each other, and she told her to keep it a secret. And Soul is talking to the girls, and or not the girls, I think she was talking to Caleb, and she said there's a lot of secrets in this house, and she saw the little pinky promise that they made, but she doesn't know what was said. Zach and Bryce pretending to joke with Trinity, like they're going to share a bed together, and she has to go sleep with Kata. Emphasis on pretending. This was funny because Bryce and Trinity were laying in bed, and they heard a noise, and it was Jen and Gabe. So the next day, Trinity was like, "What were you doing?" And Jim was like, "I don't know." Like, I realize things move a little differently in the villa, but that's moving pretty fast, because Jen hasn't even been in the villa 2 weeks like everybody else, and that's still moving fast. So these three are talking about the guys, and Melanie gets up and leaves. And Kenzie immediately goes to Jen and was like, I just want to talk to you about this. I don't know why she didn't trust Melanie. But they were talking about Corbin. And I don't know, the conversation, like Jen was saying, yeah, because Kenzie told Jen that they made out when she asked Corbin not to say anything. And so Jen's like, oh, that's why he made you that hard pancake. And he gave it to you right in front of her fucking face, talking about Melanie. And Kenzie was like, yeah, I need that shit. And I don't know. I This kind of solidified it with me for not really being a big fan of Kenzie's, because I mean, I never was, but I don't like her. She comes off as an entitled brat, and like I said before, wherever she's from, she must have been that girl, and she wasn't in the villa, and she didn't like it. And now that she had, Caleb, and she has Corbin after her, that's the way she likes it. Mm. So Sincere's talking about how confused he is and how he doesn't want to think with his heart, because when he thinks with his heart, he gets screwed over or whatever. Um, I don't know. Sincere and Melanie, I'm kind of forgetting. I'm trying to remember, and like when she was doing all that crazy stuff, and his feelings were getting hurt, and she kept doing it. So I see why these two are going back and forth and tit for tat. Like, I kind of see it. Like, I wouldn't do it, but I see where they're at. So I don't know. I guess I'm trying to say I get Sincere a little bit how he's moving. Corbin and Melanie are talking, and he asked her how she felt about him. Like, he brought about bringing the pancake, and she said bringing it to Kenzie, and she said that it makes her want to take a step back and let them explore their thing. Oh, this is when Kenzie, because she went to nursing school, she feels like she's a an eye doctor. So, and she's not. As a matter of fact, there was an eye doctor that came on here, or optometrist, ophthalmologist, who came on TikTok to just to say that Kenzie was wrong. I love him for that. These two went and had a chat, and you know what was weird? What was kind of cringy for me when Soul was talking to Sincere, and she was like talking about how much she likes him, whatever, and she said, "Mama happy." I don't know. That just gave me. Uh, oh my gosh, Kata. I don't see good things in the future. She's like all over him, and he's just look at his face. Trinity got a text that there'll be a recoupling, and they're all going to write each other love letters. And so I don't know, I think this just it's only week 2 to be writing love letters, but KC is not feeling it at all. I would hate this part too, KC. I don't blame you. But Soul was like, somebody is gonna get their feelings hurt. And I'm like, girl, might be. Zach was talking about how it's gonna be hard for him. And Bryce was like, aren't you British? That should come easy. And he was like, yeah, we're poetic. And then he looked at him like that. Is he biting his lip? Um, Kate is all worried. She said she's worried about, expressing her feelings and whatever. And Melanie was like, you don't have anything to worry about. That man wants you. That man has had you, and he's probably thinking about someone meeting someone else. He is. He's actually saying that. Casey is talking to the guys, and he was like, if she writes someone else, that's just going to show me blah, blah, blah. Who else is she going to write, Casey? And this in there right now. Who else is she going to write? I'm confused. Corbin killed me with this comment. He was like, I'm worried about um, if I write a letter to Kenzie, if I write one to Melanie, Kenzie's gonna be like, fuck my feelings. If I write one to Melanie, or if I write one to Kenzie, Melanie might cry and say she's going home. What? Boy, please. Melanie feels really secure in her couple. I'm not sure why, but she does. I wouldn't trust anything Sincere says. Sincere asked KC if he had pursued Soul if he hadn't, and he said he would have been more open to it. That's a yes, and that's a yes. And the fact that you're holding back on that, that is why Anaya's feeling the way she is. Ariana shows up. So again, this letter thing, I'm not really into it. I think it's too soon for all that. They should have just done a recoupling, but they had the dramatics, and so um, Bryce and Trinity stayed together. Jen and Gabe stayed together. Anaya and KC stayed together. Zach reluctantly stayed with Kata. Well, he didn't act like he didn't say anything. His letter was nice, but the look on his face says everything. Then it came down to the two that the last two coupling. I don't know, but anyway, Kenzie had two letters. One, of course, one was from Caleb, and one was from Corbin. So when it came to Caleb opening up his mailbox, he didn't have any mail, which means Kenzie didn't send him a letter. She sent Corbin one. Very awkward. So Corbin's reading his letter from Kenzie. Soul is realizing that she may not have a letter because um, um, Melanie must didn't give Corbin a letter, and that's her couple. Oh, and when Corbin went to go sit down with Kenzie, he was like, "America can break this up." Y'all feel like this is a challenge, and challenge accepted, Corbin. Last thruple standing. Sincere has two letters, of course, one from Mel and one from Soul. He reads them, and now it's time to figure out who he picked. So Soul opens up her mailbox, and there's nothing in it, which means he picked Mel. And as they say in Love Island UK, she's gutted. And she was joking around about somebody getting their feelings hurt, but I don't think she thought it was going to be her. So Melanie and Sincere are back. Lord. And Caleb and Soul are a couple, which I don't mind. At least they get to experience Casa.